In 2014, California's King Fire blackened 400 square kilometers of forest. Massive erosion followed. One of Placer County's two reservoirs filled with sediment and had to be dredged, says County Water Chief Andy Fecco.
Every time we do that, it's a $5 to $7 million cost that you incur, and you're out of business during the whole time when you're trying to clear those facilities out. And so we incurred those costs several years in a row.
And he worried about the county's other reservoir, French Meadows, just a few kilometers away.
And so it was one of these watersheds that was very much under threat of a high intensity wildfire.
These devastating wildfires are on the rise in the West, experts say, as climate change dries out the forests. And a century of misguided management has left them overgrown and extra flammable. Across the West, the unintended consequences threaten reservoirs and their drinking water and hydropower, says Angel Hertzlet of the Nature Conservancy.
There's a growing understanding from water utilities in particular that their water quality, their water quantity is very much impacted by what's happening in the headwaters.
Thinning out the forest lowers the fire risk. The forest around the French Meadows Reservoir belongs to the U.S. Forest Service. But the agency has millions of hectares across the West that need thinning, says District Ranger Michael Woodbridge.
We're always doing as much as we can with the capacity we have, but French Meadows is kind of above and beyond what that capacity would have been.
So an unusual partnership formed. The Water Agency, the Nature Conservancy, state and local governments, and others all pitched in to do the planning, raise the money, and get the work done.
And we said, fantastic, if you guys can do that with us, then we can get this work done in this area.
The partners say they're going faster and doing more than any group could have done on its own. But it will still take years. With millions of hectares across the West at risk of fire and climate change turning up the heat, Water Agency Manager Fecco says Placer County's reservoirs are a cautionary tale.
I want them to learn from our experience and start taking really aggressive steps in managing their own watersheds so they don't end up in the same boat that we're in currently.
Steve Baragona, VOA News.